Last month we made a trench to drain away all the excess water away from the fields that we use to make hay. But we did not finish, so the first task this month is to put all the dirt back so that the fields are ready for this summer's harvest. After hard work, it's nice to gather the family around the fire for some lunch. A major task that we are going to be working on this month is fencing. We are going to replace as much of the temporary electro-net fences as possible with permanent fences. As we live on the west side of Norway, the rocky mountain terrain means that the bedrock is never far below the ground. I'm going to test out a method that I've been thinking about for some time now, to use the normal wooden fence poles on bedrock. Now this worked great, but I didn't drill the hole in the fence post long enough, so it ended up cracking a bit. This is so typical old farms. Before they had modern garbage management systems, farmers would just dig down the garbage in the ground and forget about it. We are finding nests of glass and garbage all over the farm all the time. Let's get rid of this so the sheep won't cut up their hooves and get back to the fence. Although the wooden posts work great in the bedrock, I want to try to use up some of these bare steel rods that I got for free. These are absolutely massive and they weigh about 10 kilos or 20 pounds each. I started to fence with these fence poles several years ago, and that is some of the reason why I stopped. They are so heavy that carrying these poles up into the forest and up the mountainside became such a huge task that I just stopped. The area I'm fencing now is around my neighbor's house, and so most of it is accessible by road, so I'm going to take the opportunity to use them here. These are so massive that they will probably last forever.
Er det ikke sånn her, pappa? Ja. Kan jeg få knuse? Nei.
A sure sign the spring has arrived is that the chickens are laying more eggs than usual. And another sign is that we are completely out of hay. Today it's supposed to rain, so I'm going to finish a job that I should have done several years ago. These chickens have been sliding down the ramp for far too long now, and it's finally going to be comfortable for them to use it. I'm also going to finish the second ramp, so our heavy breed hens don't have to jump from so high up. I don't think that's good for their legs. The reason we have two doorways is that there is sometimes a traffic jam on the ramp with a big entrance. Some of the hens just don't care about keeping the roads open. The reason almost no hens use the other ramp is that the entrance is too small for all but 2 of our hens. We originally made it for some chickens that couldn't get in while we had turkeys. The male used to sit in the entrance in the evenings and keep guard, and those that hadn't gone in by then wouldn't be able to. One of the extension cords is broken, as the bucket we used to have over our fantastic electrical system had a hole in the bottom. We have replaced the bucket, but the cord probably got some damage. The winter ice can be tough for plastic buckets, so the sheep's water bucket also needs replacing. While I'm here, I want to see if I can get our watering system going again. While I am fencing, my wife and son are repotting some of this year's vegetables in a large greenhouse.
Stor fint nok.
I finally put up enough new fences so we can start to remove some of the old electro-net fence. I'm also removing the net from the pig's pen, and we are going to use their fence energizer to power the remaining electro-net around my neighbor's house. Doesn't the pig need that, you may ask? No, because they are no longer there.
So we have been shopping.
During the fall of 2023, we bought the piglets Selma and Louise. We did not really have a clear plan for them, but we would figure out the plan on the farm eventually. During the winter, me and my wife sat down and had a hard look at our farm and how things were going. When we bought the farm, it was always the plan to make some money of it, but as time went by, we kind of lost that focus. We had already decided that we wouldn't butcher any more animals ourselves, as we lacked the proper facility for cold storage of large animals, and I just don't like it, so that was out of the question. We talked about selling piglets, but we will need to build them a bigger shelter and preferably a building where they could have some separate pens, so we could go in without any risks, as these pigs can be a bit bitey. It was just not realistic to build that, with so many other things screaming for attention. We even explored the possibility of sending them to a factory slaughterhouse, but as their machines are specialized for pigs without any wool, that could be expensive. We would also need to shear them before we sent them in. The sheep is no problem, as we can hold them, but pigs are so incredibly strong, so we were not even going to consider trying that. Pigs eat a lot, and our scraps were nowhere near enough, so they would be extremely expensive pets. There was only one option left, and that was to sell them. finally removing some of these electro-net fences feels really great, as I have hated these fences since the day I put them up. These were supposed to be temporary, but I think I've had them up now for about 5 years. The plan was to open up some more area for the sheep, as they didn't have enough grass on their pastures at the time. We were supposed to put up permanent fences and take these back down again, but we never had the time. These temporary fences are so soft that if they are not electrified, our sheep can get entangled in them and even lose their life. Keeping them charged means constantly checking them and removing all debris, weeds and branches that gets entangled in them. Each meter I remove means less work in maintenance and more time that we can use on other projects. If we want to continue to get eggs, we need to replace some of the hens as they get too old. Hens can only lay eggs for a few years, but they can get quite old.
Jeg ser på filmen, pappa. Jeg kan gjøre det her.
We have ordered some fertilized eggs that we are going to hatch to chickens. We have gone for a color variety this year. As many abandoned farms, this farm was also full of trash when we bought it. Much of the scrap metal I've collected in a pile with the intent of renting a container. The prices, however, made me change my plans, and that has resulted in this pile being left here for at least 5 years. Now it's time to do something about it. Many of these things are just too big to fit in the car, but with some cutting I think we'll be able to fit this trash in the trunk so we can get it to the dump. Those of you that has been following us from the very beginning may recognize this trailer, as it was in the very first video we made. I unfortunately had to take the video along with many of my older videos down, as I got a copyright claim on the music I had used. So it's no longer possible to see them, but here are some glimpses. When I rescued this trailer, I had big plans for it. I was going to make a full restoration and make it into a tractor hangar, but that was never realistic. It was so rusty and rotten that when I tried to lift it out of the way, I broke it in half. There was just not enough metal left, so this is going to the dump.
Rusten avfall. Dette er nok den første kjøreturen denne tilhengeren har hatt på ganske så mange år.
It's the next day and it's been raining so hard this night that the farm is a bit flooded. This is the day I was supposed to go to the dump, so we just have to carry on. The first load is ready, and off we go. Now, we will not finish everything today, but our plan is to fill up the car now and then, and in the end, the pile will be gone. For the 100th time since we bought this greenhouse, we have to put it back together after collecting all the panels over at our neighbor's house and fields. Now I'm getting really tired of this, so it's time to make it stronger. So I have a plan, and it's a solution that I've put together based on comments and useful tips from all of you, so thank you so much. This is my daughter Ariel. For those that are curious to why she's wearing ear protectors, she's really sensitive to noise from electrical tools. She has an ultra-rare genetic condition called DDX3X syndrome that affects about 1 in every million girls. So she's quite literally 1 in a million. I'm gluing the panels to the front due to the sliding doors, and since I have so many clips left over, I'm also going to use extra on those. sun is setting and tomorrow it's going to rain, so I need to clear away all the tools. Now we didn't get to finish the greenhouse, but already it feels a lot stronger than it was. As the day comes to an end, so does the month, and that means that we are done for this time. If you want to see another of our videos, watch this one from last year when we installed the automatic greenhouse window opener. And if not, I'll be seeing you next month.